Hey guys, it's Michael and welcome to part 7 of our movie review series. Today we're going to be doing the top 5 best movies of all time, and I'm going to kick it off to my friend Adam here with our number 5.
Number 5, and this is actually number 5 on both of our lists, is the original Jurassic Park movie. And I don't know about you, but I really like this movie because it had the groundbreaking special effects. I think I read that it was one of the first movies to seriously do CGI, and it had legendary characters. What do you think?
Oh, it was an amazing movie. What I love about Jurassic Park were the animatronics that were used. All of the animatronics were just, I don't know how much money was spent on this movie, but it's based on a Michael Crichton novel, and I think really this is Steven Spielberg's best movie. What do you think, Adam?
Well, it's the only one that I have in my top 5. Well, yeah, so, I guess it would be, and, so, anyway, that's...
Yeah, it's a great movie. If you guys haven't seen Jurassic Park, check it out. It's been out for about 26 years now, so if you haven't seen it, then get with it.
Yeah, well, what are we waiting for out here?
Yep.
All right, so that is both of our number 5s, Jurassic Park. Now we'll get to my number 4 is a 2000 classic by Ridley Scott, Gladiator. And it was between quite a few movies for this one, but I chose this one because, it won the Academy Award for Best Picture that year, and I believe Russell Crowe won for Best Actor, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Crowe was great in this movie, but honestly, my favorite part of this movie was the villain, Commodus, played by Joaquin Phoenix.
Absolutely, yeah. He stole the movie, in my opinion. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, the performance that he brought to the table in this movie was just stellar. Russell Crowe, A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
A lot of the films he's done, he's a great actor, but come on, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I still laugh at some of his reaction shots in this. When he's watching the gladiator fights, and it's very good. So if you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Yeah, go see Gladiator, guys. Awesome.
Yep.
So,
number 4 of me, Gladiator. Now to Mike Murphy's number 4.
Yep, Back to the Future. This is a movie that defined my childhood. I remember going to the theaters to see it with my parents, 4 years old when it was released. And, it's just amazing. I mean, these special effects, the time machine, the DeLorean, all of the iconic characters. What do you think, Adam?
For its time, the effects were outstanding, and I want to get serious here for a second. This is my number 3, and I guess with being in the number 3 movie of all time for me, and also being in one of my favorite sitcoms of the time, Family Ties. Michael J. Fox, I hope you're doing alright, brother, and I know you would still be putting out great work today if you hadn't fallen on hard times, and that's all I want to say about that. And also, I want to say death to remakes.
Oh,
on
yeah,
this
yeah.
one. We do not need a remake of this movie.
Yeah, producers and Hollywood people, if you remake this movie, Mike Murphy is going to be pretty daggum upset.
And you do not want an upset Mike Murphy.
No, you do not. But Back to the Future, amazing. So that is my number 4.
And as I said earlier, my number 3 is Back to the Future, so we've already covered that one. So
Yep.
Mike's number 3 is
Godzilla 1985. Well, that's what it was in the States. Officially, the Japanese name was The Return of Godzilla. But me and Adam are both huge Godzilla fans. This is a movie that many people would not put in their top 5 best movies of all time list. But I'm putting it in my top 5 best of all time list because, I mean, I watched this movie, I mean, probably more than any movie I've ever seen. Growing up, Godzilla was just, you know, I loved Godzilla films. I mean, when I would get home from school, you know, after school I would watch a Godzilla movie on, you know, VHS. Godzilla 84 was groundbreaking. I mean, Adam, what do you think?
I mean, especially for us, this is the first Godzilla movie that we actually got a chance to see on the big screen. Up until this one, we could only go rent VHS tapes or watch them on the TBS morning
Oh, yeah, yeah.
or afternoon Saturdays. And
TNT, you remember TNT ran
TBS,
the...
yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually cried at the end of this one because I thought Godzilla wasn't coming back.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He was the bad guy. I mean, this was a bad Godzilla, guys. I mean, it was a dark film. For a Godzilla movie, they steered away from the family-friendly stuff of the 70s. A little dark, but that's what I liked about it. It had a lot of action. This Godzilla was basically evil. I mean...
it takes you back to the originals.
Yeah, the original Gojira.
And after this, he kind of stayed evil. I mean,
Yeah.
He was the good guy a few times, but anyway, Godzilla 1985.
Yep.
Now my number 2, and it's appeared on a previous list for me, is Ghostbusters, the original, and I just love the iconic characters in this. All 4 of the Ghostbusters were great. And, in a small role, I thought Rick Moranis was hilarious in this movie too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
I think that, you know, for the time, nobody had ever seen a comedy sci-fi like Ghostbusters. I mean, the music, the special effects, the characters. Personally, I think Ghostbusters 2 is just as good as Ghostbusters. I like Ghostbusters, love it, but I think that part 2 is just as good.
Personally, I think it's a small step down, but still really good.
Oh yeah. Ghostbusters, though, I mean, awesome movie. I know we've touched base on Ghostbusters in some of our previous films.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it that I haven't already said. Do you have?
You know, I think that Ghostbusters is just an amazing movie. Let's just end with that.
All right. And on to your number 2 movie, which is...
Okay, I am a huge Martin Scorsese fan. My number 2 is Raging Bull. And this stars Robert De Niro. And let me just touch base on this. This is the best acting I've ever seen in any movie. The acting was just, I mean, just stellar. Adam, what do you think about it?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I don't have too much to say because it might be inaccurate. But one thing I will say is that I believe personally that it was much more realistic than any of the Rocky movies. I mentioned in my drama video that my complaint with Rocky is that they put on so much makeup that it doesn't look like they have a black eye. It looks like their face is melting off, and you don't see that. The injuries look like injuries in this movie. So
Agreed. The realism in this movie, there were no gimmicks or special effects in this movie, period. It was all real choreography. The boxing scenes were stellar. I think this is probably, I mean, I'm going to get to my number one in a minute, but for Robert De Niro, this may be his best work.
The scenes at home were just as good as I recall. As the boxing.
Yeah. The family life of Jake LaMotta was very, very turbulent. Let's put it that way.
All right, and now on to the number ones. My number one is a foreign film that has sparked more sequels than I believe any other franchise in history, and that would be the original Gojira, Godzilla. And
Adam, not to cut you off, but we're at the end of part one. So guys, join us for part two, and we will go ahead and wrap up our number ones, okay? Thank you so much.